A bright 28-year-old with a dream, a $1 million investment, and a startup idea that tech insiders were calling the next big thing. Within 6 months, it all vanished. Investors walked. Staff were laid off. And that dream? Buried under a mountain of regrets, missteps, and a truth most people in business never talk about until it's too late. Before we dive in, hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a financial story that could change the way you build wealth. These aren't just stories. They're wake-up calls, blueprints, and sometimes cautionary tales. What really happened to the $1 million startup that failed fast? And how can you avoid falling into the same trap? Stay with me. His name? Darren Cole. Age? 28. Ambition? Through the roof. Darren wasn't some tech prodigy from Silicon Valley. He was a self-taught coder from Ohio, a college dropout with a sharp mind and an even sharper tongue. He believed in one thing: solving real problems with simple digital tools. And he was obsessed with one issue: small business logistics. The spark came when his mom's flower shop missed a massive Mother's Day delivery due to poor back-end scheduling. That single event lit a fire. Darren spent the next 9 months working day and night in his basement, developing what he claimed would become the Shopify of scheduling software. It wasn't long before angel investors noticed him. His pitch was magnetic, a mix of passion, vision, and cold, hard numbers. In a matter of weeks, he raised $1 million in seed funding. Press called him the Midwest Musk. Tech blog said he was a rising star redefining Main Street efficiency. But here's the thing about rising stars: sometimes they burn too hot. With the $1 million secured, Darren moved fast, maybe too fast. He hired a full development team, brought in a flashy PR agency, and rented an office space downtown with floor-to-ceiling windows. Every move screamed, "We've made it." But they hadn't. The product wasn't ready. But Darren believed in momentum. Launch now, fix later, he told his team. So they launched Schedulink, a cloud-based, AI-powered scheduling platform tailored for small retail and service businesses. And to his credit, the first 2 months looked promising. Over 500 businesses signed up in the first 30 days. They landed a feature on TechCrunch. Local media hailed Darren as the future of Midwest tech. He was invited to speak at startup events, mentored younger founders, and even started scouting for series of funding. But behind the scenes, the cracks were forming. The product wasn't as stable as the PR campaign suggested. Users were reporting bugs, feature lags, syncing issues, and worst of all, customer support was non-existent. Darren, caught in a whirlwind of success, brushed it off. Growth first, polish later, he kept saying. Investors were still calling. Journalists were still writing. And the users? They were getting angrier by the day. But Darren had no time to listen, because he was busy preparing for the next big pitch, a $5 million Series A raise. On the surface, everything looked fine. Darren was still attending conferences. Social media praised the team's hustle. The office buzzed with activity. But inside the walls of Schedulink, things were falling apart. The user base, once growing, was now shrinking. Most users signed up during the buzz, but didn't stick around. Why? Because the platform wasn't delivering. Appointment data disappeared. AI scheduling tools misfired. And the one thing Darren had promised, efficiency, was nowhere in sight. One user, a salon owner from Ohio, wrote, "Schedulink cost me 3 clients in 1 week. Never again." But Darren? He didn't read the reviews. He was too busy polishing his pitch deck for Series A investors. Too consumed with the next milestone to notice the foundation was cracking. His CTO, Maya, tried to raise concerns. "We need to slow down, fix the bugs, listen to our users." Darren dismissed her. "We'll fix it after the raise." But Maya wasn't alone. Several key team members started questioning the company's priorities. Marketing was being pumped with funds while engineering was under-resourced. Customer support was run by 2 overwhelmed interns. Internally, employees started calling it a house of cards. But no one dared say it aloud. Not when the next investor call was just days away. Not when Darren promised they were about to hit the big league. Then, just 2 weeks before the Series A pitch, the system crashed. Nationwide, every Schedulink user locked out for 48 hours. Bookings lost. data unrecoverable. And that was the moment everything changed. The crash was more than technical. It was existential. Clients who had given Darren's startup a chance now demanded refunds. App Store reviews plummeted to 1 star overnight. Forums lit up with complaints. "I missed a surgery consult because of this app," one user wrote. Never trusting a startup again. Darren's inbox exploded. So did his calendar. Except now, the appointments weren't with investors. They were with lawyers. The Series A round? Canceled. The lead investor pulled out after seeing the crash reports. Others followed like dominoes. No one wanted to back a broken platform. Inside the office, the energy had vanished. Maya, the CTO, submitted her resignation. 2 engineers quit midweek, citing burnout and zero direction. Slack channels went quiet. Darren, once the face of unstoppable momentum, was now alone at his standing desk, staring at error logs. He didn't speak. He didn't sleep. He just kept hitting refresh, hoping something would change. But the numbers kept dropping. Active users, down 80%. Recurring revenue, cut in half. Brand reputation, in the mud. One morning, he walked into the office, and it was empty. Desks cleared. Coffee machine unplugged. His dream had collapsed, and he didn't even notice it until it was gone. In less than 18 months, Darren went from startup hero to the cautionary tale investors now whispered about behind closed doors. Darren's story didn't end with a dramatic comeback or another million-dollar idea. No, what came after was even more valuable. Perspective. After his startup dissolved, Darren took a year off. He moved back in with his parents. Spent time mentoring young founders at a local incubator. And that's when he began seeing what he couldn't see before. He wasn't a failure. He was a lesson one others needed. Darren realized 3 things that he shares with every young entrepreneur now. First, never let momentum blind you. Growth is great, but it should never outpace your ability to deliver. Scaling a buggy product is like building a tower on a cracked foundation. Second, humility is a skill, not a trait. He ignored his team when they raised red flags. He rejected feedback, thinking he had to fake confidence to keep investors happy. That pride cost him everything. Third, always build for the user, not the hype. If your product doesn't solve a real problem, no amount of marketing will save it. Today, Darren consults for early-stage startups, helping them avoid the pitfalls he fell into. He doesn't brag about his $1 million startup. He talks about how fast it failed, because in that story is where the real value lies. Want to avoid Darren's fate and build something that lasts? Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join us for powerful, real financial stories that could change your future. See you in the next one.